Now she's teasing a big announcement that she claims will result in some of her opponents being arrested and charged.
A Dolton home that she leased to Mayor Tiffany Henyard has filed eviction papers. She says Henyard has not paid her rent, and now she wants her.
It's hard to believe, but the small village of Dolton, Illinois, has become the center of one of the wildest political dramas in recent memory. At the heart of it all is Mayor Tiffany Henyard, a figure whose tenure seems ripped straight from a political thriller or maybe a reality TV series. With accusations of corruption, mismanagement, and outright scandal piling up, residents and critics alike are asking, how far can one leader push the boundaries of power before it all comes crashing down?
South suburban politician Tiffany Henyard appears to have lost control of both governments.
Let's start with the most jaw-dropping revelation so far. Trustee Chris Gonzalez's claim that Henyard orchestrated the theft of more than $2 million in public funds. That's right, $2 million earmarked for community development and essential services allegedly disappeared under her watch. Gonzalez has accused Henyard of funneling the money into questionable contracts, luxury trips, and personal expenditures, leaving Dolton's residents to foot the bill. During a recent meeting, Gonzalez blasted Henyard's actions as a betrayal of public trust. And he's not alone in his outrage. The entire village seems to be on edge, with tensions between the mayor and the trustees boiling over at nearly every public gathering. But here's where things get even messier. Henyard's administration has been accused of spending taxpayer money on items that seem to benefit her personal brand more than the community. For example, over the summer, banners featuring Henyard's face and the phrase "Super Mayor" were installed along a major road in Dolton. Sounds harmless enough, right? Except the banners weren't authorized by the trustees, and the vendor who created them claims the village hasn't paid the nearly $20,000 owed for them. When workers were ordered to take the banners down, Henyard called the police, demanding that charges be filed against those involved.
Now, an NBC5 News exclusive, there is more controversy for the mayor of Dolton tonight. Apparently, when she caught workers removing banners with her picture on them, she called police.
In police body cam footage, she can be heard saying, "Press charges on him. They're taking government property down." The acting police chief eventually returned the banners to Henyard, but not before the incident became yet another public embarrassment. Residents have had enough. During public meetings, frustrated citizens have taken to the microphone to air their grievances with Henyard's leadership. One resident called the banners ugly and questioned why taxpayers should foot the bill for what they saw as Henyard's self-promotion. Another criticized her for prioritizing her image over the village's pressing needs, asking why won't she step down? This is an embarrassment to Dolton. And honestly, it's hard to argue with them. The village is facing a budget deficit of more than $3 million, yet its mayor seems more focused on maintaining her super mayor persona than addressing the financial crisis.
You are a clown. We will continue to speak out against wrongdoing.
Why won't you step down?
But Henyard isn't just fighting battles at public meetings. She's also battling her own eviction. Yes, you heard that right, the mayor of Dolton and her boyfriend are being sued by their landlord for failing to pay rent. According to the landlord, Henyard and her partner stopped paying rent back in August, despite both earning a combined income of more than $300,000 a year from taxpayer-funded salaries. To make matters worse, the landlord claims the locks and garage code were changed, preventing her from accessing the property for maintenance. She's now owed thousands in back rent and has taken the case to court.
The sheriff's been out here a few times to serve them. For a household that makes, over $350,000 a year.
When asked about her tenant troubles, the landlord didn't hold back, saying, "At some point, you have to understand that karma's going to catch up to you. Just pay your rent." Meanwhile, Henyard has responded to the growing criticism with defiance. During a recent village board meeting, she addressed the crowd, saying, "A lot of you come to this mic talking about nothing, and when I say nothing, you're talking about Tiffany Henyard. That means you really are fans of mine, and I appreciate that." It's a bold statement, considering the mounting allegations against her. Many residents were left shaking their heads, questioning how someone facing so much controversy could remain so confident, or, as some see it, out of touch.
I will be seeking arrests for individuals involved. I will be pressing charges.
And speaking of controversy, Henyard's appointment of a new police chief has sparked yet another legal battle. She recently selected Ronald Burge Sr. as Dolton's interim police chief, despite objections from the trustees and warnings from the state agency that regulates law enforcement. According to the Illinois Law Enforcement Training and Standards Board, Burge is currently classified as inactive due to missing paperwork and a lack of requalification. In fact, the board strongly recommended that Henyard remove him from public service until he meets the necessary requirements. But instead of backing down, Henyard doubled down, securing a judge's approval to allow Burge to serve for 30 days while a permanent replacement is chosen. Trustees are now considering further legal action to block Burge's appointment. calling the situation yet another example of Henyard's disregard for proper protocol. If that wasn't enough, former Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot has added her voice to the growing chorus of critics. Lightfoot recently accused Henyard of gross financial mismanagement, claiming that millions in federal grants meant for Dolton's infrastructure and public welfare projects have vanished without explanation. According to Lightfoot, whistleblowers have reported that some of the missing funds were used to finance Henyard's personal lifestyle, including luxury purchases and private events. Lightfoot didn't mince words, saying, "The residents of Dolton deserve transparency and accountability, and Mayor Henyard has failed them on both counts."
But you don't even have a sense to even look in our face. But you rather just steal our money and do what you want to do.
These allegations have only fueled the public's frustration. Residents have pointed to crumbling infrastructure, underfunded schools, and inadequate public services as evidence of Henyard's failures as a leader. James Carter, a local activist, summed up the community's feelings, saying, "We've watched our town struggle while the mayor lives a life of luxury. It's time for her to answer for her actions." Surprisingly, amid all the chaos, Henyard has tried to reframe the narrative by touting her controversial per 100% homeowner tax refund in Dolton Township. This bold move, which she announced with little detail, has left many scratching their heads. Critics, including trustee Chris Gonzalez, have questioned the feasibility of such a plan, especially considering the township's massive budget shortfall. What's the administrative cost? When will it start? When will it end? She hasn't explained anything, Gonzalez said. Residents, too, are skeptical, with some suspecting the refund is little more than a campaign stunt ahead of upcoming elections. If she can't pay vendors or deliver basic services, how is she going to refund our taxes? One resident asked during a recent meeting.
I'd like to make the motion to adjourn the meeting.
We're here to handle the business, not let the business handle us. That's what we are elected to do, sir. So please.
Adding to the financial mystery, Henyard's administration has faced accusations of withholding key financial records from both the trustees and external auditors. Former Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot, who was hired to investigate Dolton's finances, previously called out Henyard for refusing to cooperate. "The lack of transparency here is staggering," Lightfoot said. "Without access to proper documentation, it's nearly impossible to determine how much money has been spent, where it's gone, or whether any of it can be recovered. This lack of accountability has left Dolton's residents in limbo, unsure whether their village can recover from years of alleged financial mismanagement." Meanwhile, the trustees have been working together to limit Henyard's ability to make unilateral decisions. They filed lawsuits to block her from making questionable appointments, opening new bank accounts, or authorizing major expenditures without board approval. Trustee Jason House, who is also running against Henyard in the mayoral race, has described their efforts as a necessary step to restore order. "We're trying to clean up the mess she's made, but she's fighting us at every turn," House said. However, with Henyard still holding significant power as both mayor and township supervisor, the battle for control of Dolton's future is far from over.
A Cook County court has reversed some of Dolton Mayor Tiffany Henyard's decisions. At last night's village board meeting, Henyard announced a 30-day temporary appointment.
And yet, despite the mounting criticism, Henyard has announced her intention to run for re-election. In a Facebook post, she declared, "I am running for re-election for mayor of Dolton," promising to continue fighting for the village. But many residents aren't convinced. One trustee running against her in the upcoming election said, "The community does not want to continue under her leadership. I'm not shocked because I know her. Definitely not shocked. The stakes are high, and Henyard's future as mayor hangs in the balance." As the drama unfolds, one question remains: how much longer can Henyard hold on to power? Critics have called for her resignation. Protests are growing louder, and federal authorities have reportedly launched investigations into her administration. The spotlight is shining brighter than ever on Dolton, and the pressure on Henyard to answer for her actions is mounting.
Stories new at 6. Embattled Dolton Mayor Tiffany Henyard is mounting a re-election bid. Henyard made the announcement in a post on her Facebook page.
In the comments sections of news articles and social media posts, people are voicing their opinions loud and clear. One viewer wrote, "I really don't know why that mayor hasn't been put in prison yet. What is the FBI doing, dragging their feet? She needs to be in jail." Another added, "She should have to pay for those banners herself." These comments reflect a broader frustration with the lack of accountability for public officials, and many are eagerly awaiting the results of the investigations into Henyard's actions. So, what do you think? Can Mayor Tiffany Henyard survive this storm of controversy, or will the mounting allegations finally bring her down? Should public officials be held to higher standards of accountability, especially when taxpayer money is at stake? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And stay tuned, this is a story that's far from over.